JK, T, and D flip flops. Okay, so in this video, we are going to be seeing with some of the shift registers which are used oftenly under the construction of flip flops. Okay, so they are basically a group of flip flops which is used to be obtaining, which is used to be uh, obtained to perform multiple bits operation at the same time simultaneously. Okay, so in detail we are having basically four types of shift registers under flip-flops. One is called as serial in, serial out, serial in, parallel out, parallel in, serial out, and parallel in, parallel out. Okay, so these four shift registers we are going to be discussing in detail in this video. Okay, yeah, so let us start now. A shift register is a group of flip-flops which is used to store multiple bits of data. Okay, so as the name suggests, it is a group of flip-flops. It is used to store multiple bits of data. Okay, in the as you know the basic definition of flip-flop, it says that flip-flop is a single bit operation, right? It performs only under a single bit. Okay, so in order to perform for multiple bits at the same time simultaneously, we use this concept called as registers. Okay, so shift registers means that after the operation of an each flip flop, it is a group of flip flop, right? For one particular flip flop, it would be operating for one bit, and if that is done, we could be moving for the upcoming flip flop by shifting the values of the bits. Okay, so that is basically called as shift register. So the bits stored in such registers can be made to move within the registers in out of the registers by applying the clock pulses. So the shifting takes place based on the clock pulses applied for that particular condition. Okay, for a particular bit of data, that clock pulse would be obtained, and based on that clock pulse, the shifting would be taking place simultaneously. Okay, yeah. An n bit shift register can be formed by connecting n number of flip flops where each flip flop stores a single bit of data. The registers are connected in such a way that the output of one of the flip flop forms the input to the other. So you see here in this connection, the output of one flip flop. So this is basically a serial in, serial out connection. Yeah, it's just for the demonstration, I'm showing that this is the output, right? For that flip flop, it is connecting. It is given to the next stage input, that is flip flop. Next stage input flip flop, like this. The connections are made for all of the shift registers. Okay, yeah. So the data in the shift register is moved serially, that is one bit at a time. Okay, it moves serially means that once the shifting is taking place, after that, based on the clock pulse signal, it would be shifting the data serially, either left or right side of the data. Okay, so there are two ways to shift data into a register. It is called a serial or parallel, and similarly, there are two ways to shift data out of the register, that is serial in or parallel. Okay, so depending on the type of shift, there are four basic types of registers which are used for construction. One is called as serial in, serial out, serial in, parallel out, parallel in, serial out, and parallel in, parallel out. Okay, so one by one, let us see all of them now. What do you mean by that? First is serial in, serial out, CISO. So what do you mean by this? You see here, the data is shifted in and out of the register serially, one bit at a time, in either left or right direction under the clock control. One thing you need to be keeping in mind, that all these four basic types of registers are happening under the clock control. Okay, based on the clock signal only the function takes place, whether serial in or parallel out. Okay, so in the first case, the data inputs are sent serially, and it is coming out of the register in a serial manner, like in the same order through which it is sent. Okay, next one is serial in, parallel out, that is CPO. Here, the register is loaded with the serial data, because as the name itself suggests, that is serial in, right? The register input side data is sent serially, one bit at a time, with the stored data being available at the output side in parallel form. Okay, it is coming out parallelly, one bit at a time. Okay. Third one is parallel in, serial out, that is also called as PSO. The parallel data is loaded into the register simultaneously and is shifted out of the register serially, one bit at a time under clock control. Okay. In this case, the data is sent parallelly inwards, and based on the process taking place after the shifting, the at the output side the data would be serially outwards. Okay. Fourth one is parallel in, parallel out, that is PPO. Here in PPO, the parallel data is loaded simultaneously into the register and transferred together to their respective outputs at the same clock pulse. Okay, so here simultaneously at the input as well as output side, the inputs are sent parallelly in serial, parallelly in the input side, and at the output side also it is receiving parallelly. Okay, yeah. So these are the basic definitions of these four shift registers. Take it down. Now let's get to one by one all of the shift registers, starting with serial in, serial out shift register. Okay, So the serial in, serial out, CISO shift register allows the serial input and produces serial output. As this is the block diagram here. Okay, so these are the serial inputs produced based on the n bit operation. So number of bits, the operation takes place, shifting takes place, and after that the outputs are produced serially outwards. Okay, so this below figure shows a 4-bit serial in serial out shift register which consists of 4 D flip-flops connected in the cascaded form. That is, output of one D flip-flop is connected as the input for the next D flip-flop. All these flip-flops are synchronous with each other as clock signal is applied to each one of them. Okay. So what is given here, this is the basic structure of a 4 input CISO shift register. You see what happens here. Since the name itself suggests that it is a 4-bit, so that's why we are using 4 data flip flops, D flip flop. As we know that data flip flop carries only 1 bit information, right? So that's why in this shift register we have seen that we should be using flip flops which carries only 1 bit information, which would be simultaneously used for calculation of the multiple bits, right? So that's why here, since in the name itself it suggests that it's a 4-bit, so we are using 4 D flip flops here, where one clock signal is given which is common to all these flip flops here. Okay, and we are having the outputs q and q bar, and you see here q is given the first stage flip flop output is given to the next stage flip flop input, and like this it is connected serial in serial out data. Okay, so this is the 4-bit CISO shift register. Now let's see what happens in this. Okay, in this shift register, bits can be set serially from input of leftmost D flip flop. That is, this is the leftmost D flip flop, and this through this the inputs are sent like this. Okay. Hence, this input is also called as serial input. For every negative edge triggering of the clock signal, the data shifts from one stage to next. So the bits are received serially from the output of rightmost D flip flop. Hence, the output is called as serial output. Okay, based on the negative edge triggering of the clock signals. That is, as I've told you, this depends on the clock pulses, right? Based on the negative edge triggering, whenever there is negative edge triggering, it would be shifting its data from one flip flop to other flip flop. Okay, so these are some of the examples given here. So you see here with this truth table, it would be very clear about the concept of uh, CISO 4-bit shift register. Okay, you see here, these are the clock pulses provided. So totally they have provided 7 clock pulses here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So first link serial in. Serial in means that first input sent is 0. Okay, so now this is 0, right? And this is the first stage output, that is q3. So since serial input is sent through this D flip flop, so whatever the input is sent, that only would be there at the output side. So that's why q3 would be having 0. Q2, q1, q0, we have still not received it because there is no shifting taking place. Okay, so this is for one clock pulse. Now for the second clock pulse, the shifting takes place. That is, now what happens is, in the second clock pulse we are sending 1 now. Okay, so 1 is sent. After that, that 1 is getting shifted to q3, and whatever was there in q3, that would be getting shifted to q2. Okay, after that again 0 is sent, because we are sending clock pulses, right? Serial input, we are sending toggle pulses, that is 0 1 0 1 simultaneously we are sending it. Okay, so you see here, firstly 0 was sent, output, this is q3 with respect to data flip flop. Then after that, the next data sent is 1, so that would be coming in place of q3. Whatever previously was there in q3, that would be coming to q2. Then for the next input, that is 0, so that would be coming in q3. Previously whatever was there in q3, that would be coming to q2, and whatever was there in q2, that would be coming to q1. Okay, similarly for the next clock pulse, again 1 is sent, so that would be stored at q3 here. Previously whatever was there, that would be coming to q2, this would be coming to q1, and this would be coming to q0. Okay, after that, each of the shifting takes place here. Now this one would be coming here, this 0 would be coming here, this one would be coming here, and this 0 would be coming outside. Okay, because since there is only position for 4 bits here, so those outputs are the serial outputs formed. So like this, the shifting takes place one by one at each clock pulses, and this is the serial output generated. Okay, for the serial input provided, 0101 1010 is the serial output generated. Okay, always remember, you should be seeing the serial output from up down to up. Okay, not from up to down, down to up. Okay, so this is the serial input 0101, and the serial output produced for this is 1010. Or if you want, in the same direction, you could be keeping it as 0101 only. Okay, like this the operation takes place for serial in serial out shift register. Now let's get to the serial in parallel out shift register. Serial in parallel out allows serial input and produces parallel output. Okay, so this is the basic block diagram you see here. This is the serial input sent, and these are the parallel data outputs which is getting produced. Okay, which has some of the MSB and LSB bits. So the block diagram for a 4-bit serial in parallel out shift register is given here. So this you see here, it consists of again 4 D flip flops here. Okay, so we are having 4 D flip flops, one clock signal which is common to all. Serial data is sent in, parallel data is produced. So that's why you see here between Q and D we would be having the output Q3 here, and between Q and D we would be having the output Q2 here. This is Q1 and this is Q out, Q naught. Okay, so these are the parallel out data. Okay, hope this is clear. Now you see here the truth table, what happens here for each clock pulse. Okay, so we have provided 4 clock pulses here. Firstly, serial data is sent is 0, so that would be after one shift it would be getting stored in Q3, because as per the D flip flop, whatever data is sent, that would be the same for the output side. Okay, so that's why this would be 0. Then after that, next one is sent. Okay, that would be stored at Q3. Then whatever was there at previously Q3, that would be coming to Q2. Next 0 is sent again. So here now 0 would be coming here, this one would be coming here, this 0 would be coming here. Finally 1 is sent, so that would be stored here. Previously this 0 would be coming here, this 1 would be coming here, and this 0 would be coming here. Okay, after these 4 pulses you see that all the 4 parallel datas are generated here parallelly, right? So that's why we need to be stopping at that time. We cannot be doing further shifting because these are the parallel outputs which are getting generated. Okay, so hope this is clear. Serial in, parallel out. Now let's get to parallel in, parallel out, that is PPO. Here, shift register allows parallel inputs and produces parallel outputs. Okay, you see here, these are the parallel data inputs here and parallel data outputs generated. Okay, so the block diagram for a 4-bit PPO shift register is given like this. You see here, in parallel out, whatever data is sent right through D flip flops, the same data we would be getting back in terms of bits here. Okay, that is parallel in, parallel out. Okay, so you see here, they have given only one clock pulse, and whatever the data is assigned, that is D3, D2, D1, D naught, that only would be stored at Q3, Q2, Q1, Q naught. So according to block diagram, there are 4 flip flops used. Okay, and this clock pulse is common for all. And you see here what happens, D3 whatever is given, that would be same as Q3, that is D3 equal to Q3, then D2 equal to Q2, D1 equal to Q1, D naught equal to Q naught. So there are parallel data inputs and parallel data outputs generated simultaneously. It means that whatever the data is provided initially at the D flip flop, that only would be there at the output sides, because both are connected parallelly to each other. Okay, so this is meant by parallel in, parallel out. This is the easiest one, you could be remembering it. Okay, next is parallel in, serial out. Okay, so in parallel and serial out, it allows parallel input and produces serial output. So you could be seeing this diagram here. Parallel data inputs are provided and one serial output is generated. Okay, so this below figure shows the block diagram of this parallel in, serial out. You see for 4 clock pulses, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are having shift load operation where initially the value of parallel data inputs are D3, D2, D1, D0. Okay, so you see here, initially they have given the data as 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, so serial output is 0 in the first case, and in the second case it is 1, 0, 1, and the serial output here is 1, then 1, 0, and 1. So that's why you would be getting the data as this is the serial output here. Okay, so according to this connection made, they have made the connections for uh, parallel in, serial out shift register. Okay, so the data is sent parallelly and it is coming out serially. Okay, so with respect to the shifts taking place, it would be generating the parallel outputs here, that is 0 1 0 1 simultaneously. Okay, so you see here what happens. Firstly, the shift load, that is the optional, but you see here, firstly the data initially which is sent in D3, D2, D1, D naught is 1 0 1 0. Parallel data is sent. Okay, then you see here at the final stage, whatever D naught is there, that would be the output, because at the final stage whatever values we got right, that would be the serial out value, because we know that D flip flop and output values are the same. You compare only the final stages here. Okay. Now after shifting, this one would be coming here, this zero would be coming here, this one would be coming here. Okay, and this zero would be coming out of the flip flop because we are having only 4-bit positions here. Okay, so now what remains now? The new value of output is 1. Similarly, in the next shift, this 1 would be coming here, this 0 would be coming here, and the new value of output is now 0. Finally, this 1 would be coming here, and the new value of output is 1. So that's why this is the serial out data generated for a parallel in serial out shift register. Okay, so here in the output side, and in the input side of the next stage flip-flop, we are using two AND gates, and those outputs of the AND gates are given to an OR gate. Okay, so this is common for all the flip-flop stages. You need to be noting it down. So this is the diagram for piezo shift register along with the truth table. So yeah, hope this is clear. All these shift registers, any one of them would be asked definitely in the final exam. So please focus well. Okay, so this notes I would be putting in the video's description also. Go and access it. So next, let us see some more counter based on shift registers, which are very important. There are basically two counters which you need to be knowing here. One is called as ring counter, and another one is called as Johnson counter. Okay, this is very simple. I'll tell you how it is. So in the ring counter, an n-bit ring counter performs the serial in parallel out shift operation. Okay, so this is the basic operation which is happening in this counter. That is serial in parallel out. But the only difference is that the output of the rightmost D flip flop is given as the input to the leftmost D flip flop instead of applying data from outside. Okay. So output for the rightmost D flip flop is given to the input of the leftmost D flip flop. That is whatever the final output is there, right? That is fed back to the first flip flop in order to continue the sequence continuously. Okay, it won't be having any end here. It is a continuous process, so that's why it is continuing. Okay, so that's only difference. Therefore as the name suggests, it is a ring counter. Okay, it is in the loop here. It is going on in a ring. Okay, so it produces a sequence of states which has the patterns of zeros and ones, and it repeats for every n clock cycles. Okay, for every number of clock cycles, that many number of rotations it takes place. Okay, so this is the basic block diagram of a ring counter, of a 4-bit ring counter. Okay, so this is a 4-bit ring counter, so that's why we have used 4 D flip flops here. Okay, which has the initial clock signal and logic 0, which is given through clear signal, and the outputs are given in parallel, that is q3, q2, q1, q0. Okay, as you could see, the final output is fed back to the initial D flip flop, and the circuit construction is made serial input and parallel output. Okay, so this is that truth table here. Firstly, the initial value you need to be giving for a clock pulse. For the initial clock pulse value, it is 1000. Okay, why? Because we are giving back the final output, right? That final output we are giving back to the initial input, so that's why initially the value is 1000. Now how the ring counter operates: for the first clock pulse we need to be shifting, right? So what happens after shifting? Previously it was q0 was 0, right? That comes here at the first position, then this 1 would be coming here, this 0 would be coming here, and this 0 would be coming here, this q0 would be coming here. Okay, since it is a ring, right? So that's why whatever the final value this is there, that would be coming here. For the second clock pulse, again this final 0 would be coming here, then this 0 would be coming here, this 1 would be coming here, and this 0 would be coming here. Okay, then for the next clock pulse, again this 0 would be coming here, this 0 would be coming here, this would be coming here, and this 1 would be coming here. Okay, and here for the final clock pulse, again this 1 would be coming first, then this 0 would be coming here, this would be coming here, and this would be coming here. Like this the complete ring operation happens. Okay, now it is not stopped here because it is a complete reverse process. So you see here, initially the value was 1000. You see here, the initial value was 1000. After 4 clock pulses, again we get the same value 1000, and the repeat and it goes on repeating. Okay, yeah. So for n number of bit ring counter, we would be having n clock pulses generated for that particular loop. Okay, so here we have used 4 bits, so that's why we are getting the same initial value after 4 clock pulses. Okay, if we are taking 5 bit, then we should be drawing 5 flip flops, and we will be getting after 5 clock pulses. Okay, so this is the timing diagram generated with respect to q3, q2, q1, and q0, the sequences obtained. Okay, so if you want, you could be noting this down. This is with respect to ring counter.